Thank you, John Paul. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Chair Botter for your more than 30 years of service to Connexus Energy as a board member, providing utility oversight and utility policy direction. Thank you, Madam Chair. Once again, I'd like to say good afternoon and welcome to the Connexus board meeting. This is my first board meeting and it's my pleasure to be with you today. As a matter of introduction, again, I am Sidney Jackson. I am newly appointed to the Chief Executive Officer position, succeeding Greg Ritterbush, who has retired. As I've shared with the Connexus leadership and staff, it's an honor to be selected as the Chief Executive and President of our electric cooperative. While we have transitioned Chief Executives, the Connexus member fundamentals will remain. We will continue our commitment of providing service to our valued Connexus members, and this commitment extends to delivering value as your energy provider. So just a little bit about myself. I have deep roots in the state of Minnesota, where I spent almost all of my professional career executing, building, and developing energy policy and energy markets in the Midwest while also leading electric utility organizations. I count Minnesota as home. As I have over the last 30 years, Minnesota is where I've raised and educated my family, and I stand as a proud parent whose son graduated from both a Minnesota State University as well as attending a local metro area high school after attending K through 12 in the metro area. So I'd like to transition to spending the next few minutes talking about some of the transformational changes in our industry and some of the transformational issues and opportunities and challenges that we have before us at Connexus. I'd like to emphasize that it's a year that we should celebrate, driven by the exceptional operational and financial performance of Connexus. There are many initiatives, and I'll lay out 7 of them here, and I'll try to describe the noteworthiness of them as I go through them. First, as John Paul, our VP and CFO stated, we have observed continued growth in Connexus membership. As member accounts continue to increase, affirming the vibrancy of member communities that we serve. In summary, Connexus is growing and we welcome the many growth opportunities before us. Secondly, Connexus saw continued growth and innovation in various ways as we engage our members in a number of ways, often referred to as operational digitization. This can be seen across programs such as EV programs, rooftop solar programs, and peak time rebate programs. We will continue these programs, and they have grown over time. Thirdly, Connexus continues to be a leader in battery or energy storage deployment ahead of other Minnesota utilities. Connexus uses energy storage technology to the benefit of our membership, and we are actively expanding our energy storage capabilities where it makes sense. Fourthly, and perhaps most impactfully, in 2023, Minnesota Governor Walz signed the new carbon-free standards into law, requiring all Minnesota utilities to provide 100% carbon-free energy from carbon-free resources by 2040. This represents a sea change in renewable targets and mandates for Connexus Energy and other state-wide utilities. Also in 2023, Connexus developed a 10-year resource plan, which was drafted after engagement with our membership, a plan that was subsequently adopted by our board of directors. Additionally, Connexus aims to continue our investment in operational safety with its Aim for Zero campaign, a program that also expands our safety outreach to local third parties such as contractor and excavators. And finally, in 2023, the first full year of operations under our new agreement with Great River Energy. While Connexus and Great River Energy now function under a customer framework versus the legacy member participation framework. These are just a few high-level observations from 2093, many of which carry over into 2024 and beyond. 2023 was a year where Connexus Energy, through its innovation, continues to deliver on our mission and vision while providing value to our membership. So I'd like to move on to operating results. I'm pleased to report strong operational results for 2023. We realized favorable results on the new power supply and transmission compacts, as previously stated by John Paul, our VP and CFO. Our financial performance was 8% better than forecast, enabling Connexus Energy to provide the bill credits that John Paul talked about. And these bill credits were a significant benefit to our membership, as the average of member bills were the same or lower as compared to 2022. This exceptional performance was in part, and I emphasize in part, a result of our new power supply flexibility and generation supply and resource options that were previously not available. I'd like to speak very briefly about reliability. Connexus Energy achieved one of its best years in service reliability. The reliability track record of Connexus is one of what I call industry distinction. We are well positioned to extend into the 6th consecutive year of top 5% industry-wide performance in the reliability area. Looking at our most recent reliability statistics, on average, a Connexus customer experiences a loss of power event not caused by a major storm at the rate of almost once every 4 years. And again, the reliability performance of Connexus over the last 6 years represents operational excellence and demonstrates our commitment to continuous improvement. So achievement of reliability results that are top of class is not a coincidence, but it is often a byproduct of our willingness to commit and continue our capital investment in our infrastructure. Or as more simply stated, our capital investment strategy has and continues to pay dividends. Capital investment is necessary to ensure that we meet the growth, that we continue our enhanced reliability, and those are important considerations. For instance, we completed a new substation, one of the first substations we've built in more than a decade, while also completing upgrades to some of our system's oldest stations. In addition, we've successfully completed the 2nd year of the 10-year plan to convert existing overhead to underground construction. These investments are substantial, and they will increase the safety of our crews while also decreasing service interruptions and simultaneously providing beautification benefit to our members. I'm also pleased to report and re-emphasize that there's no general rate increase for 2024 as previously stated. I'd like to emphasize again that this is an exceptional result given the inflationary headwinds. And when we talk about inflation, we've already mentioned supply chain constraints, but there are a variety of other inflationary pressures, such as the impact of key commodities, the price escalation. Common to our industry is copper and aluminum and some of these other precious metals. They've had significant increases over the last 3 to 5 years. We also manage our operations in a stubbornly elevated interest rate environment. In retrospect, Connexus Energy has maintained stable rates in contrast to some of our neighboring utilities that have a comparative track record of nearly double-digit rate increases. Again, those double-digit rate increases are very dissimilar to Connexus Energy. Again, pleased to forecast 0 general rate increase for 2024. I'd like to move to our resource plan. I'd like to thank the Connexus team for the development of the 10-year resource plan. As we went about developing this plan, we engaged the community, our member community, through our stakeholder working group. And the feedback received was a core part of the resource plan development. Our resource plan co-optimizes across many factors to include meeting both regulatory and industry compliance requirements. Equally important in the Connexus resource plan is that it builds upon the programs that our Connexus members currently enjoy, such as the 17,000 members enrolled in peak time rebate, as well as the 900 members that participate in our EV subscription plans, and the 1,200 rooftop solar installations, which is nearly double of what we had in previous years. Our comprehensive 10-year resource plan not only examines our generation resource needs, but reflects and builds upon the demand response of resources within our system. I am pleased to report that Connexus staff is actively working to execute this resource plan as adopted by our board of directors. The technological innovation of Connexus Energy has recently been noticed nationally. Fast Company, a nationally recognized media brand, has recognized Connexus Energy as one of America's most innovative companies. This national recognition is the first for an electric cooperative and just the 5th electric utility to be recognized in the award's 16-year history. This is another of many opportunities to celebrate the innovativeness of Connexus Energy, its team members, and the organization. In addition to that, the Star Tribune in the last several weeks ran a feature story that showed how Connexus has been using grid-scale batteries and storage to generate electricity to the benefit of our membership. Clearly, Connexus Energy, as Fast Company noted, is an industry leader. Talk real quickly about RPS, Renewable Portfolio Standards requirements. As we look forward, Connexus Energy and all electric utilities in the state have a compliance requirement framed by the state of Minnesota's new Energy Clean Energy Standard. As a standard which requires, as I've stated previously, 100% carbon-free electricity by 2040, with interim targets in 2030 and 2025. Moving forward, we will be assuring that we are doing our part in fulfilling Minnesota's requirements, and we are on target to meet the 2030 state renewable requirements as framed by our resource plan. Additionally, Connexus Energy, as the largest electric cooperative in the state, welcomes a broader role with our peer utilities, as we have a responsibility to work with our legislative leaders as we communicate some of the challenges and concerns with some of these energy policies. And it's important that we do this as we represent our member communities. Economic development is an important consideration. One of the things as we have done is we've looked at our resource plan. There is an indirect economic activity associated with the investments that we will be making over the next 10 years as framed by our resource plan. Our independent studies forecast that our resource plan will create economic benefit for our members to the tune of $331 million in local economic output. Will contribute $180 million to local gross domestic product, support 150 local jobs while creating $129 million of local labor income. And finally, the Connexus resource plan is expected to generate $122 million in tax revenues for our member communities. Looking ahead, it's clear that Connexus is a key partner for the economic growth in our regions of central Minnesota and metro areas that we serve. As we make these investments, we will be looking to aggressively partner with various federal agencies in the pursuit of grants and other programs that are available to cooperatives such as ourselves to assist our membership in the clean energy transition. This includes pursuing grants in coordination with the USDA Rural Utilities Service, or RUS, the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, and DOE Department of Energy. These grant opportunities have the potential to mitigate or lessen rate impacts to Connexus members as we move through the clean energy transition. This concludes the Chief Executive's report. Allison Miles, our Vice President of Members, will speak to member considerations next. Allison.